Carolyn, come on, I'll talk to you for a second.
Yeah. Why?
What did you tell your father about us?
My father? I didn't tell him anything.
Come on.
No, not exactly.
Meaning?
Well, I mentioned your name, and I said some very nice things about you to him.
Just some very nice things.
Why? What happened?
Oh, nothing much. He just roared into the shoreline, giving me the third degree, that's all. Nothing special.
My father went to the shoreline to talk to you. Well, I told him that I was going with you and that you were a very nice guy.
Just like that?
Yes, just like that. And he didn't fall off the chair or rush out to hunt for you. My father and I communicated. I told him that you were a very nice guy, and his eyebrows went up. That meant he was impressed. And I told him that we were going with one another, and he nodded. That meant great.
Well, maybe it wasn't your dad. Maybe it was just someone pretending to be him.
That's funny. That's funny.
Look, whoever that fellow was that cornered me in the shoreline and asked me my intentions about you, he was clearly serious.
Well, I'm sorry if something I said to my father made him charge off to the shoreline after you. I don't know how it could have, but I am sorry.
One thing is clear. Your parents are concerned about us.
No, that's apparent.
They're afraid that left to our own devices, we'll embarrass them and ourselves. That's why they've been making waves.
Clearly.
The only solution is for me to start dating others. I'll start dating others and you start dating others. That'll let the air out of their bag of concern.
I don't like that idea.
Do you have a better one? Do you have another one? Well, do you?
No, and I don't like that one.
I see.
What did my father ask you about us?
Just about us. What a shock it was. You told me he'd moved to Boston, but there he was standing in the shoreline staring at me, and he wasn't tapping his foot to the music either.
What did you say to him about us?
I told him you were terrific, a wonderful girl. What did you think I was going to say?
Look, you better tell me exactly what you said just in case he asks me about it.
I told him a bunch of general things, corny things, not too deep or serious things. I just everyday hand-holding, gum-chewing things. And what did you expect me to say to him? I sure hope I never have to go through a scene like that again.
Well, I'm sorry he frightened you.
Your apologies are accepted.
Well, the question is, how are we going to keep my mother and father from doing more of the same?
I made one suggestion.
Well, I don't like that one, and I don't know how you can suggest it.
Because it's the only one. Now, think about it. I've got to get going. I'll see you later. I mean, I probably won't see you later, right?
Jeff?
What?
Have you given one thought to me? Have you stopped thinking about yourself long enough to think about me and how I feel to hear that my father's been running around checking up on me? On us? Do I count with you at all?
Sure you do. I'll see you later, Carolyn.
Harder with your left. Okay, now push off with your hands. Turn around first. Push off with your hands. See if you can stay afloat. Now use your legs.
Try it.
Well, use them. That's good. That's it. You're doing great. All right, what do you say?
Hey!
Ron!
What are you going to do now, throw in the fish? Listen, I'd set up for one of Betty's home-cooked meals in about a week.
He just might make it.
Any particular menu?
Hey, Sparrow, you never change.
You haven't called me that in a long time.
Well, listen, from down here, anybody who can stand up looks more like an eagle.
Well, it's nice to be back down the side.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I don't know. Just thinking, I guess.
About what?
When you first started getting feeling your hand again.
This hand, you did it. I never thought I'd be grateful for a man being clumsy before.
That's funny. As if you haven't been banged up enough. You have to take one more wallop before you start getting better.
Hey, what's the matter with your old man?
I think he's just stalling. He has a dentist appointment. In about 15 minutes, we better go.
What's wrong?
It's something to do with his wisdom teeth. Come on.
Good luck.
See you later, Russ.
Okay.
And remember, don't bite.
Oh, that boy, you're such a wit. Whew.
All right, White. Come on. Back to work. Let's go. Come on. Kick.
What's that supposed to mean?
You figure it out.
I don't have any dentist appointment. In fact, I don't even have any wisdom teeth.
Well, that's perfectly obvious every time you open your mouth. We come here and find your brother in a great mood, and what do? First you clam up. Then when you finally decide to talk, what's it about? Remember, Rod, when they first brought you in here and you couldn't even twitch a finger? Remember? Huh?
Look, Rita.
Do you know what it took for him to get back on his feet?
No, suppose you tell me.
Oh,
Look, I know what it took for him. I know every minute of him lying in there wondering if he's going to make it or not.
then you must know what it means to him to walk out of this hospital and go home.
Yeah, that's the trouble. Go home to what? To Betty?
Norman, don't start this again about Betty and Stephen.
Look, I tried to believe that she loved my brother. I almost made it. I almost succeeded in conning myself into believing what I saw with my own eyes wasn't really happening. I had an explanation for everything. Even seeing her and Stephen in the car right before we hit the tree.
This really is your day for remembering.
Look, I hoped I was wrong about Betty, but I'm not. Now, the only reason she married Rodney is to get the money from Grandfather Peyton. That's the truth, and you know it.
I don't know anything of the kind, and if you dare say one word of this to Rodney...
Oh, look, it's kind of obvious, isn't it? The best thing that'll happen to Rodney is for his marriage to end. The sooner, the better.
Norman?
I mean it. Look, Betty called the shop. She wanted a favor. You know what that was? She wanted me to hang the big portrait of hers.
Portrait?
Yeah, the big one, where she's all dressed like a crown princess. She'd gone and gotten it from Stephen. She wanted to hang there when Rod came home from the hospital.
Why?
Well, I asked her, and she said she thought it'd be a nice reminder of Grandfather Peyton. And I said, you mean of Stephen? She said, oh, Norman, how could you think such a thing?
You didn't do it, did you?
And I said, you gotta be kidding, and walked out.
Good.
But then I started thinking. Say Rod did come home, saw the picture, and think exactly what I said. Well, it's better to know what you're up against when you have it hanging right there in front of you.
Norman.
I went back to the house. Betty was out. So I hung it right where she wanted it.
Do you know what you've done? Do you know what he could do?
It's like I said in the therapy room, Rita. You always have to take one last hard knock before you can get back on your feet again. If it's from falling off a bike or being in love with the wrong wife.
You're out of your mind.
Where are you going? Hey, come back here. Hey, come back here. Rita, I said come back here. Rita?
Hey, Pop.
Hey, working man, what do you say?
Well, gotta keep my hustle going, you know.
Uh-huh.
Hey, would you just get off from work?
Uh-huh.
How about a nice hot cup of cider? On the house.
On the house? Oh, anytime. Say, how come you didn't tell me you and your classmates were moving into the lab?
Oh, yeah. Well, I forgot, you know.
Forgot.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have had time to talk to you anyway because we had to get right back to class and I didn't want to bother you, you know.
Uh-huh. I'll buy that. Just that I felt a little left out when Dr. Rossi told me that, you know, all the guys had moved in, the Roden Heights bit and all that. You know.
Yeah, Roden Heights.
Yeah, you didn't even tell me you were coming.
Well, next time I'll be sure to let you know. Deal?
Mm-hmm. That's a deal. Yeah, that's good.
What, tired?
Well, a little bit. It's been one of those days, you know, all sorts of nervous tension.
Yeah. Well, you won't get any of that here.
No, that's what I like about this place. You know, it's nice and loose.
You're loose.
Yeah, on top of everything else. Somebody's been using my name to make long-distance phone calls. Well, it's only a couple of bucks, but who needs it? You hate to drop everything in the middle of a busy day to look after something as dumb and unimportant as a phone call to New York.
Yeah, well, forget it, Pop. I mean, it's probably some mistake, and you got enough to worry about.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Something as simple as that, you know, in the middle of a busy day just sets you off.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, Lou, you don't suppose any of your friends have been taking advantage of their time in the hospital, do you?
Dad. That's it. Blame it on the kid.
Oh, bad scene.
Bad.
Oh, very bad.
Bad.
Well, thanks for the cider. You home for dinner?
All right.
Well, see you at home.
Say, want to take some cider home to the family, sir?
Next time.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
You should talk to your father about it.
You're right.
You think I won't listen because you're black and I'm white?
That's the kind of guy you married. You want to exchange him for a lush? You mean you're not even talking to Norm now?
Carolyn, I will not permit you to go back by yourself.
I don't want to stay here. Don't you understand that?